today's educational session on humorous speech. And with a great thank you to our speaker today, our trainer today, Mr. Hardik Shah. We can all can show a clap or a welcome or thumbs up for him. Thank you so much, sir, being here, spending your time on this holiday, and you are here. Today's session will be a great session. And before we start, I would like to give some introduction of a personality like Mr. Hardik Shah. I will read out. Mr. Hardik Shah is a member of Toastmasters Club since 2016. And Hardik Shah is a rank holder chartered accountant. Oh, sir, I'm jealous because everyone in many people in our club are chartered accountant. Medha ji, Meghna, Yash, and so happy to see you here. Another chartered account. So Hardik Shah is a rank holder chartered accountant with 12 years of experience in building and rebuilding companies. He is currently the immediate past district director of District 98. His previous professional stint, he was chief operating officer at MD Educare Limited, and currently advising several startups in their growth phase. He loves going on solo dates. That's good, sir. And he also worked at many companies like Pearson's, E&Y, and he keynote speeches at seminars at Capgemini, TCS, JP Morgan, and this big organization. And this also includes institute like ICI and NIMS, etc. And his contribution in the Toastmaster journey, the district achieved the highest recognition of Smadley distinguished during year when he served as a district director, and was one of the best performing district during the year, ranking among the top 5 in almost all categories. The district chartered 30 new clubs, 68 of clubs were distinguished, and 67% had 20 plus membership. So it is a great introduction, sir. And before taking too much time, I would like to request you to start your session. And before that, I have 5 requests with all of you. First, kindly switch on your videos if you can. If you have some limitation, genuinely some limitation, then it's okay. Keep pen and paper with you to take the notes. And keep some water near you so that you need not to go away from the session, and keep your mic and mobile on mute. Okay, welcome, Mr. Hardik Shah. It's over to you.
Thank you, Deepak. You mentioned 4 points. What's the 5th point? All right. And you already said the session is going to be great. So now the pressure is on me to ensure it is great, or else there'll be a problem at the end of the session.
Actually, I just wanted to check how many are listening properly. I had only 4 points, but deliberately I pointed out 5 points. Thank you so much, sir.
You have one more extra point in the balance sheet now.
No. I had on 4 point only, but deliberately I pointed out 5 points. Just I want to check how many are listening carefully.
All right. So I think I passed the test of coming to Jaipur.
Yeah.
So the funny story is when Medha messaged me to take a session on humorous speech, I was wondering that why did she ask the most serious person in D98 to take a session on humor? I thought she's playing a prank, you know. It's a prank by the new team in Jaipur to prank past leaders. I thought that's a Jaipur trend. And then she didn't message for a few days. So I thought, okay, she's serious about it possibly. There was no other context to it. So I got very excited, you know, that we'll go to Jaipur, we'll have aloo pyasi kachori. She will take me to Nahargarh Fort, and then, you know, Choki Rani jayenge and all of that stuff. So I was very excited, looking forward to come to Jaipur Toastmasters again after a very long time. I think 1 saal pehle I had come out there. And then 2 दिन पहले I was waiting, you know, bag सब pack कर रखी है. देखो मेरी bag भी packed है यहाँ पे. My bag and everything is packed. I thought that, you know, अभी वो ticket भेजेगी मेरे को, hotel booking हो चुका होगा. And then she sent me a Zoom link. So imagine इतनी तैयारी कर रखी है मैंने, preparation कर रखी है, and then all I get is a virtual meeting with Jaipur Toastmasters Club. So मैंने बोला चलो ठीक है, let's enjoy Jaipur sitting at home because this is one of my favorite places in Jaipur. I thought मेघना लेके जाएगी हमें, but then ठीक है, we'll manage it online for now. So thank you, Medha, for inviting me virtually. I next time in person. All right. The purpose of that was to set the ball rolling in terms of breaking the ice with a lot of you people, right? If you realize what happened is that I used one individual who is known among all of you as my reference point and built a small narration around it, and which got all of you a little connected to me. Acha, Hardik knows a little bit about Jaipur, he's not an outsider, and he can build connect with all of you people. So, are you all excited to become a humorous champion in the next, 50 minutes? I think sometimes it's easier to give a humorous speech of 10 minutes than to tell people how to be funny. Right? So, one great context setting over here, do not expect if 5:30 ko you'll all become stand-up comedian champions. All right? Building a story, building a narrative is going to take a little while, but what I'll give you is the ingredients. अभी खाना पकाना सीखोगे नहीं सीखोगे जला दोगे, that is your call. Okay, I'm that YouTube master chef who will give you everything, show you a fancy recipe at the end, and you think, अच्छा ये तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. Then once you go to the kitchen, you will start realizing, yeah, this is more difficult than what I heard on the screen. So any speech takes a little while to fine tune. So give it that time. What you see right now is in terms of how to go about it. The process कैसे flow होता है, right? If the process is set right, you will figure out a way to become a humorous champion or a speaker in general, right? So I'll break the session. I think it's already 4:40 on the clock. 5:30 is what we have to wrap up. Some of you may have to go for violent or non-violent marches today, being the 2nd of October. So I'll ensure that we wrap up at 5:30 before you send any of your people here to Bombay. So the fact is, what we'll do is that we'll around 15 minutes. I have a presentation. I will go through the context and ingredients of it, share some examples of what we do. Then I have a video. I'm hoping Mehta share that with some of the members who club group mein hai. Some of you are not in the club group. Okay, I see Jasmine does not understand Hindi, so I'll ensure I don't speak Hindi. Anyone else in the audience? Sorry, that's my bad. If you don't understand any jargon that I speak, any language I speak, then please correct me at that point in time. All right. So what I'll do is I'll show a presentation for 15-20 minutes. We'll run through the context. Then we'll have a video. We'll break the video down in terms of how a humorous speech can be broken down. How do you build it? We'll spend 10 minutes building one speech together. All right. And then we'll have a Q&A session. If you have questions in the middle, do not wait. Ask questions, Tavi. All right. All right. So here is the presentation. Metha or Deepa, can you confirm? You can see the screen?
Yes.
Oh.
Visible.
All right. So how to be a speaker? Humor is not the relevant portion. Humor comes eventually. The first point is the context is going to be how to be a good speaker, right? All right. This is not a stand-up comedy. The purpose of what we do right now is not to build a series of one-liners that you have 15, 20 jokes picked up from Instagram, TikTok, and your stand-up comedians and put it together and you crack them one after the other, or you do, audience interaction and do that. This is not that kind of context. This is not another Toastmaster speech also. It's not a project speech. So do not expect to have objectives over here. The only objective of this speech in this context is to win the contest. That's your sole purpose, to win a humorous speech contest, right? And that's what we're going to do in the next few minutes in terms of how do we ensure that it's not a stand-up comedy and how do we win a contest. And that's the next slide. How to win any Toastmaster contest. Let's get to the basics first, right? Focus on the ballot. How many of you know there's a ballot basis which every Toastmasters contest is judge evaluated? Quick show of hands up, thumbs up. whatever works for you. Yeah. All right. I will quickly show the judges ballot also. And the second part, the most important part, is that every judge matters. Every judge means everyone in the audience, specifically the hidden people who are going to be judging you, evaluating you in this speech. All right. So let's have a quick look at the ballot for humorous speech, and then we proceed in terms of how our narrative fits into the ballot. So here is the humorous speech ballot. So every time you give a speech in a contest, you're scored out of 100. This is a humorous speech specific ballot. Right? If you receive over here, your content has 55 marks, your delivery has 30 marks, your language has 15 marks. Your grammar has only 5 marks. A lot of people who spend a lot of time fine-tuning their English corrections, pronunciations, language skills, and use ChatGPT, it's only worth 5 marks. Focus on your content, your speech development, your audience response. Now, if you look at the entire thing, even in humorous speech contest, humor or laughter or audience reaction is limited to 15 marks. Rest all your physical, voice, manner, and everything else scores a lot more better. So always refer to this speech. So whenever you prepare a speech, when you're practicing it, always come back and refer to it, that are you checking all these boxes correctly or not? That's the most important part when you're preparing for a contest. Remember, keep your normal speech delivery, speech planning different, and your contest planning different. The checkboxes are very different in both cases. Over here, you have your contest ballot, which you need to refer to. All right, so this is 55 marks is for content. 30 marks is for your physical body and voice and manner, and only 5 marks for grammar. So do not focus so much on your language and all that. Focus more on your content and delivery. The second part, if you remember, in this was is that every judge matters. Can anyone say why? Come on. Anyone, have you participated in a contest before? Any contest before in Toastmasters? Yeah, Mudit.
Yeah, you were saying participated, so I participated.
All right. So tell me, Mudit, you participated in a contest. Why does every judge matter?
All judges come from different background. They judge basis on their personal experience. Some judge basis on their criteria. Like if I would have been there, I'd have done that. Some judge basis what other contestant would have done. So in different parameters, within different sub parameters, they have their different perception of giving marks.
Perfect. Now, if you realize how Toastmasters judging works, is that there are 5, 7, 10 judges who score you on these parameters, and then only their top 3 goes to the chief judge. So in this room, we have 25 people right now. Let's say there are 10 contestants and 10 judges. If I'm not on the top 3 of every judge, I will never win a contest. A lot of times we put so much effort in one style of humor or attracting one kind of audience. Now, 10 judges, like Mudit mentioned, come from different varied backgrounds. They may all not laugh at the same joke. They may not find you funny at the same time. How do you ensure your speech caters to every audience? You don't make a Sanjay Leela Bhansali movie over here. You don't make a Karan Johar movie here. You make a Rohit Shetty film, which is enjoyed by everyone. This is a Bollywood reference for people that make movies which are enjoyed by everyone in the crowd. If you focus on one particular style or one particular narrative, out of 10, 3 judges will love you. You will be in the top 1 for 3 judges, but that's only 10 points. You're losing out on 70 more points. I'm okay to be second or third in most judges, but my objective as a contestant is that if there are 10 judges in the contest room, I am in the top 3 of each judge. first, second, third is irrelevant. Come in the top 3 because you will possibly be the only contestant who is on 10 ballots versus someone being only on 2 or 3 ballots. So why this is important? Because know your audience. If you make jokes, let's say that it's a complete female crowd and I make a lot of feminist office jokes that women cannot drive, women are not good employee co-workers, they're very bossy in office, and those household jokes, they're meant to be in the kitchen. Men will laugh at it. Women will not laugh at it today. They will downscore you for that. So knowing your judges, knowing your audience is very important. All right. So that's why your ballot and the reference to judges is important. So when you start preparing your speech or preparing for a contest, know your contest, know your judges, and know your ballot. Good, makes sense. Any contestants want to talk about it? Their experience of winning or losing? See, this can't be a monologue. I will charge money for it then. I can use book my show for you all to book my tickets going forward and ensure that crashes. Yes, Devesh.
Yeah, Hardik, just want to confirm because judges are unknown to us. We are not aware of the judges, and I have to crack a jokes against a woman, something like that, and that is a part of my speech. And I cracked a joke, but it will be very difficult for me. My score will go down.
One joke, one passing reference, which is humorous and not degrading is fine. A lot of times when we give speeches, we try to degrade some other individual. A joke on yourself is fine. All right. Let's say if you are a woman, there's a woman contestant and she jokes on herself. It's fine. All right. Because people will enjoy that. You look at that, how audience going to react to that. So if you have one joke in your 7-minute speech, it's fine. You managed to attract that audience that you wanted to score a little more. Plus, you had your joke reference build in the narrative. Right? Your speech cannot just be about. Yeah. So I think Sunita says, right, talk about your spouse, your daughter, your girlfriend, talk about people related to you. Don't talk about women in general. So people believe it's your story and not a general passing remark to everyone. All right. So yes. So that's what every judge spoke on the ballot. Every judge matters. How to get started? Speech or humor? Do you start writing a speech first? Or do you believe in a joke, humor, and then build a story around it? Second, what if I'm not funny? People don't. I'm not humorous generally in nature, right? So how do you find yourself in a spot giving a humorous speech? And third, again related to this, topic selection. What do you speak about? You speak about general everyday affairs. You talk about your affairs. You talk about office, romance, Toastmasters. What do you talk about? All right. And all of this come together is that find your comfort zone. Find something that you have enough references to about. Start with a speech. Okay. Start with a situation. Let's say I want to talk about, so one of the contestants last week spoke about how he got locked outside his home in a towel. That was a reference material. And then he built a 6-minute speech around that. Your speech does not need to be original. It does not have to be your speech, as in it can be a fake made up story also. It can't be plagiarized by someone else's replication, but it does not have to be a true story. You can fake it, you can exaggerate it, you can have tall tales imbibed in it. Let's say I can just talk about the fact that, last evening I was traveling to Jamnagar, and on the Ambani's flight, it got diverted to Israel, and then Iran bombed us suddenly out there because I was there. I was in a panic situation, and then the American Air Force came and evacuated me. Don't have too much of tall tales, because then it loses context over here, because tall tales is a separate situation. But you can add one element of tall tales or situation to it. But build a narrative, have a storyline, and that goes around it. So it's something called ABC. And what do you talk about? Talk about yourself as a protagonist. You make yourself the hero, you make yourself the villain, that's your choice. But talk about you. See, do not talk about celebrities, do not talk about other things happening in the world. People want to relate to you. And that's when they laugh a lot more. Right? So you have to be the centerpiece of it and talk about A, B, and C. A situation, a problem, what happened during the problem, and how it got resolved. I caught myself outside my home in a towel. I rang my neighbor's bell, but they didn't have spare keys for my home. A lot of situation happened. Some people saw me, click photographs of me. It went viral on Instagram. A lot of media coverage people came in, started making jokes about me, and eventually my ex-girlfriend happened to be passing by, and she had keys to my home. Whatever. It's a very random, made-up story, but it's a narrative. A problem, the crisis, the fun element, and how it ended. If you all saw the ballot, there's still content over here. So there should still be a context and conversation and a message in your speech. It doesn't have to have a takeaway, but there has to be a storyline. You can't come and just say 5 lines and expect people to vote for you. So if you're not funny, look at a funny situation. Look at about how life as a middle management employee, where you have to deal with your bosses who are very aggressive, who are largely millennials and the older generation, and below you are Gen Zs who are very different in nature. So how, as a middle management individual, you're managing both different audiences. Or talk about your wife and mother-in-law. You can make those some few jokes around your family problems. All right, how your wife doesn't like your sister, your daughter doesn't like her cousins. Those are relatable jokes. That could be a storyline. So find a baseline with you as a protagonist, and how are you going to manage that situation? That's how you choose your topic in terms of humorous speech contest. Good. Any questions? Yeah. So that's the basic premise. You are the protagonist. Start with a reference baseline and build your speech around it. Humor gets added on the way. Do not start with punchlines. This is the punchline I want to use, and build a story around it. It won't work really well. And you will think it's funny in your head, but when you speak it out loud, it will not land on people. So don't do that. Right? What if I'm not funny? You don't have to be funny as an individual. You need to have funny situations in your life, which we all have, and talk about it. Topic selection, you're the protagonist. Talk about everyday life situation. That's the best way it works. Where to focus? Now you have your speech content ready. You have your topic and theme selection ready. You've built your speech. How do you focus? Opening, closing, the most important part. Your first 30 seconds has to have a joke or a punchline or a situation which people laugh at. So you start on a high, you go moderate, and then you end on a high. People will not remember 7 minutes. People will remember how it started and how it ended. That's the takeaway for them. So when you end the speech, ensure it's very, very funny. There is humor in the end. There is a punchline at the end, or there is some situation or twist at the end, which people didn't anticipate coming their way. And now the main part, how do you add humor in your speech? You have your 7-minute speech ready. Ensure you have a punchline or a twist every 45 to 60 seconds. 7 minutes, opening, conclusion. So 2 minutes are gone. 5 minutes, you just need 5 to 6 punchlines. That's it. We expect our 600 words or 700 words need to have punchline every second line. That's not the situation. You build up for 30-40 seconds, boom, a punchline. Build for 30 seconds, punchline. Some of you have been to roller coaster rides, right? It's not going round and round and round, or there is no constant falls happening in that, right? It slowly builds up, goes up, brings that excitement, anxiety in you, and boom, it comes down. And that's exactly how a humorous speech works. You build the context, you tell people, like at the start of the speech, right? I built the context that Mera called me. I was excited to come to Jaipur, very excited. And then she sent me a message. It wasn't the ticket, it was a Zoom meeting link. So you build expectation for people and then you burst the balloon. That's how your humorous speech is going to work. All right. I'll give you types of humor also. That's one style of humorous speech. There are more to it. I'll come to that in a bit. But that's how you build your speech, that you have a fancy opening, equally fancy or more fancy closing. Your closing is more funnier than your opening. and a punchline every minute. Opening gone, conclusion gone. So you have 5 minutes, at least 5 punchlines or 5 funny incidents or stories. Clear? Good? All right. How to add humor. The first is twist, twist, and twist. How many of you have, I work out at the gym very regularly. So I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to build my muscles. Now, what I've done over here is I build a lot of, I've spent a lot of blood, sweat, and protein to build muscles. So some everyday content, everyday quote, I twisted that with tears to protein and added something which people didn't anticipate over here. Your trials work beautifully. I was a very academically brilliant child. Since school, I used to score 95% marks, come in the top 3. So I came in 10th, I scored 95%. Then I decided to take commerce. I scored 94% in that. And then I thought, okay, this is very simple. Let's do something more challenging. And I decided to take up CA. And of course, I was smart. I'm very good at numbers and accounting. I joined the best college over here. And that's when the results came out. I'm like, what to bother about the results? I'll, of course, stop this time as well. My sister opened the CA website, clicked. And of course, I failed. You built a story, people expected, okay, this is a smart chap. Because see, if you read the context, I'm a rank holder CA. That was the introduction that I got, right? You don't expect me to be failing. And I failed. You change the narrative over here. Right? So twist, twist, and twist is that you build a context and you add a twist to it which people don't expect. So do the unexpected out there. Bollywood. Now, Bollywood is more from an Indian context. A lot of us watch Bollywood films, Bollywood situations, add a lot of humor to what we do. Third is awkward, embarrassing situations. Back in college, I never had a girlfriend. I was staying with my aunt. She asked me that, do you have a girlfriend or something? I said, no, I'm single. And that day evening, a parcel came in my name from Priyanka Trivedi, Girls Hostel, Ahmedabad. Now, why is someone from a girls' hostel sending a parcel to me? That's a different story for a different situation. But the fact is, there was an awkward, embarrassing situation in my life which I had to deal with that day eventually. And then I said, it's not for me, for my friend. And 10 minutes later, when she walked into my room, I was opening the box and removing the gifts for myself. Situation which is very awkward, embarrassing, you build that around that, right? Last weekend, I was coming back from Delhi to Bombay, and for the first time in my life, I got the window seat, the emergency exit window seat. A lot of leg space, a lot of fun. I thought this would be fun. Nice that the air hostess comes to me and says that, Hardik, I'm sorry, but you cannot sit near the window seat, the emergency exit. And I asked her why. She's like, you need to open the emergency exit in the first attempt. You're a CA. You have never done that in your life. All right. That's a self-deprecating joke. I'm cracking jokes on myself. All right. So crack jokes on yourself. That's perfectly fine. Don't crack jokes on other people so much. I'll come to the other people joke, but crack jokes on yourself. And something very, very, putting yourself completely down, throw yourself under the bus. All right. Makes sense? Adds value to your speech? Yeah. All right. Next slide. Now, what is always a game changer? Now, everyone will have speeches, will have content. You have to be humorous. You have to make people laugh. You will have funny content. But how does it become funny? Your voice. Your voice has 4 P's to it, right? Your pace, your pitch, your power. But the most important thing in a humorous speech contest is pause. Your volume and is what you start with. Your pitch. I was traveling by an airline, I travel very frequently in business class, but that day I had to be downgraded to an economy class. But that's okay. I had an emergency seat for myself. And then the air hostess said, pause. That 3 seconds pause will get people's attention that, okay, what is he going to say next? That you need to open the exit in the first attempt. Boom. Again, pause after that. Because that's a joke. It's landed. If people are laughing, stop for people to complete laughing. Because if people are laughing and you start your next statement, people will lose relevance to it. All right. So when people are laughing, stop all that. And that's where voice is extremely important. Pause is the most magical thing in a humorous speech. All right. Pitch, pace, power is part of it, but that's it. Body language is important. How do you move on the stage? You use your hand gestures, you sit down, you stand up, you cry. Whatever you do is important. These are game changers in your speeches. Know your audience. Do not crack jokes which your audience will not laugh at. Since there are few CAs in the house, you laughed at the CA joke of first attempt. If you do that with engineers, they will not understand it. Yeah. For them, you can crack a joke that the first thing that every engineer, every science student does is become engineer and then decide what they want to do with their life. A very common passing reference joke. All right. So that's how you build it out here. Right. How to level up. Title. Choose a nice, funny title and use the contest share to your advantage. For example, I think 2 years back, one contestant speeches, "Do you want to die?" So let's say Yash is the contestant. I'm the contest chair. I say, "Yash, do you want to die? Do you want to die, Yash?" And Yash starts, no, contest chair, I don't want to die. What you smartly did is you already started getting people's attention and laughter using the contest chair with your speech title. All right, that's funny because you have used the contest chair also as a prop. I think 3 years back, I think 5 years back, Aaron Beverly had a 43-word long speech title. So you instantly have attention to the audience because there's no restriction around that, right? Let's say you use sex, politics, and religion. Deepak, sex, politics, and religion. Sex, politics, and religion, Deepak. No contest share. At Toastmasters, we do not talk about sex. Please read the rule book and come back. You're already cracking jokes. You have to have a very strong opening and you link it to the contest share, giving you the cue. Normally, what anyone will do will spend 30 seconds building context. You let the contest share build the context and you complete the joke and land it. Beautiful chances of doing it. That's a leveling up to yourself, right? Once you've done the previous part. Using a prop or a dress up. If you're talking about marriage, you can dress up in an Indian Sherwani and come out there. All right, Aaron Beverly 3 years back at the international speech contest dressed up in an Indian attire when he spoke about Indian weddings he attended. Context reference is important. Third is Toastmaster references, right? Let's say you make fun jokes about, this evening I went to my wife and I told her that there was not enough salt, but I didn't want to tell her directly. So I went around and I told her that I love the sabji you made this evening. What possibly could have added more flavor to it is a little salt to it. What my wife next did, she took it away and cook for yourself. So use a Toastmaster reference of CRC and see how it doesn't land in your family life situation. So Toastmaster references will instantly evoke laughter in your everyday situations. Use them. Don't overdo it. Fourth, the most important magical portion is individual audience references. If you know people in the audience who everyone in the audience knows, plant some joke around them. Like I told Medha that as an era director, you have no holidays this year. All of you know Medha. All of you know she's an era director. All of you know that she's working overtime between Jaipur, Toastmasters, and area. It quickly connects a lot of people instantly, including your judges. So individual references, if you do not get very classy in your comments, make it a very funny passing reference to the individual out there. Remember, in a speech contest, you cannot make references to another contestant. So in the flow of speech, do not refer to another contestant or under contestant speech, but someone in the audience, you definitely can do that. All right. Good enough. Any questions? All right. So this is one quick example at a humorous speech contest a few years back. I had a ring and I was in a Sherwani because I was talking about being a 34-year-old single individual. All right. On the right-hand side is the COVID era, wearing a jacket and shorts. How I attend business meeting these days. So you dress up for the occasion, you bring that to the screen, and you see, connect back to it. It evokes laughter amongst people. All right, so that's the presentation. Any questions before we go to the next part of it? Quick, we'll take quick 5 minutes to 4 minutes to answer questions. Then we'll have that. Dhruv, have the question. Dhruv, go ahead. Dhruv, we can't hear you. Dhruv, you're not audible. No, you're not.
I was saying
Yeah,
that
now you are.
you said that we can use the title as a prop and we can crack the jokes. But earlier you were said we should start with a narrative and not jokes. So I'm a little bit confused in that. Like,
So what I'm saying is that you use the first 10 seconds to build it up towards your narrative. A lot of times you will make 30-40 seconds to build context to people, right, about your life situations and stuff like that. If you use if you have a good title, it may not work in every speech. But if you're able to incorporate a title which the contest chair gives a cue, like I mentioned, right, the title was "Do You Want to Die?" And then he spoke about his life journey, about life and death, but funny situations where he found himself. If I talk about marriages, you can the contestant is a female, for example, or a male. Let's assume it's a guy. Let's say Krishna is the contestant, I'm the contestant. Krishna starts with, "Do you want to marry me, Hardik? Hardik, do you want to marry me? Krishna, I would like to marry you, but let's go to the US for that." Or, "Krishna, I don't belong to that category." Whatever. If that builds my context in terms of building narrative around my relationship issues, then yes. And I build it from there. It's the foundation that you can use it. It saves you 30-40 seconds at times. If you cannot use it, then you build your own narrative and start from there. But like I mentioned, the first 30 seconds needs to have a joke. And this is the fastest way for people to get a joke. Because audience members and judges will generally not anticipate the contest chair being part of your speech. Right? Perfect. Any other question? Sagnik.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask that, like, in case, like, many of the times we just go to the venue and just start our speech. So in that case, like on spot additions to our speech is a good option, or it's a very bad option, because sometimes we are underprepared. We get underprepared if we just add too much on our plate.
Absolutely. So if you see, I gave around 6-7 slides with around 15 different possible options to add humor or contest. You don't use all 15, use only 5 of them. So if you think the auditorium, possibly at times like in Bombay, we may joke about the fact that it's a 1 hour drive to reach the auditorium for a 5-minute speech. So people normally crack jokes about the traffic jam and all of that. If your speech relates to it, then yes, it's not a must. But if you're nervous, underconfident, underprepared, don't try and change your speech last minute. But if you're prepared enough, you're confident, you are taking it easy, then do it. It depends on your style of preparation also. Some people, once they enter, like, in exam halls also, right? You'll have 2 categories of student. One student is studying till the last minute, referring to a new book. I'm not sure what will they learn in the last minute. And one student has left the book 2 hours back. He's coming, chilling, saying hi to everyone, giving a high five to everyone. You choose which student are you, right? And then decide. All right, so now we'll quickly go through this video and then we'll break context around it. Deepak, Meda, just confirm if you're able to listen to speech.
Yes.
Yes.
Who said yes? You? You? And you all. Frustrated Toastmasters. Make at least one attempt in your life to commit. And if you're gone, you're gone. Contest chair, I want to die. Not because I'm an engineer and haven't got a single on-site offer. I want to die because I committed the crime of falling in love with a fellow toaster. For Toastmasters, sex, religion and politics are taboo. Fortunately, falling in love during the meeting is allowed.
So we'll break the speech while we speak, right? Now this is 1 minute of the speech, the opening act of the contest. Now she won the humorous speech contest in 2016 or 17, I guess. So now you all refer this back to the presentation and look at this 1 minute and tell me what did she do right in the opening act?
She used the contest chair
Just-
as a prop.
Perfect. Okay. Unmute and start speaking. Medha, Krishna, please.
He's trying to attempt a suicide.
So she had to get audience in interaction out there, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I would like to add to that
Go ahead.
I was saying that the contest is about humor, but she added a seriousness to it with that suicide prop.
So people expected a serious situation that she'll talk about suicide and then suddenly, twist in the story tale, right? Yeah.
She
Krishna?
made herself the protagonist.
She made her the protagonist. Okay.
She made
She
it
started-
interactive also. Asking the question, who said yes, yes, yes. Asking the question to the audience.
Audience. Okay. Krishna?
She started getting the attention of the audience by doing a small act, by not just starting with the speech words like this.
Perfect. So non-verbal cue to get people's attention. She also used a Toastmaster reference, sex, politics, and religion in a Toastmasters meeting, but love is allowed. So we all relate to sex, politics, and religion, but she said love is not prohibited. And she used that in her opening 60 seconds. You see, this is just the first 60 seconds of her speech, and she's already got you hooked. So we break down a humorous speech winner, and you see how they have used a lot of these materials in their speeches, right?
Toastmaster gave me ample of opportunity. While recommending his speeches, I lost the count. In bargain, I also lost my heart. He is from Orissa, I am from Jharkhand, and we both are Toastmasters. Except my mom, the general evaluator of our house. How many of you have an Indian mom? You know my pain. You know her evaluation for my this project? Repeat falling in love with some other guy from Jharkhand. It's like the shortest evaluation of your life. Repeat your speech. Who does that? ABC, Arvind Brilliant Chandra. It's high time. I think we should have P11 in our CC manual. Objective, how to convince an Indian mom. I asked my dad to convince my mom. Dad, please. Hun, Hon, honey. What? Nothing. Give me some water, Kriti. You see, my mom does not even listen to my dad. Actually, nobody does. He's like the account of our family. Oh God, I really love him.
All right. So now we saw the build-up of the first next 1 to 2 minutes, right? What are your takeaways from this?
She uses pause very smartly.
Correct. She uses pauses very smartly, lets people laugh, and then she pauses for people to finish laughing or clapping, not interrupting the audience out there. Perfect. Then,
Her facial expression were too good.
okay.
And I think she relate with the normal Toastmasters. They are knowing about like our counter. No one like generally care about that. So they
Correct. So in Toastmasters, in your family, like nobody asks your dad. In Toastmasters, people ignore the accountant's recommendations and feedback at times, right? That's how. Good observation. Anything else?
It personally, it seems a more kind of a storytelling or act from my side. I don't find it a speech kind of thing. So that's all I find. Otherwise, all the facial expressions and all things which she is using in this speech, are incredible in that form. So that's what I feel.
Perfect. Beautiful. If you also noticed when she said, how do I convince the Indian mom? Volume, she played with the volume very smartly over there. Then she used ABC, Arvind, Brilliant, Chandra. They were in the audience. So they were the district officers at that point in time in the audience. So audience references are being used over here as well. All right. Then using a new project, how to convince an Indian mom. Again, a Toastmaster reference coming into place over here. So she knows her audience really well. And she's planting her jokes where audience is going to get evoke laughter from them.
Who is my last hope? Words have power. Mohammed Katani. What? Can't I use a reference in my speech? Words have power. Write a letter to the Chief Minister of Jharkhand and Orissa. Dear sirs and madams, my name is Kriti Suman Prajapati. I am 27 years old. Sophisticated Jharkhand girl. Fallen for an ordinary Oriya guy. I'm an engineer, not working with TCS. Working with JP Morgan. Sir, we love each other and want to get married. But my mom is standing in between the two states like a tiebreaker judge who thinks her opinion matters. Sir, I'm getting over age. Here is an idea which might resolve my problem. Can you merge Jharkhand and Orissa? And make them one state? My mom will definitely agree. Anyway, nobody cares what's going on in that part of our country. I have no idea how you will do it, as my knowledge of politics is not great, only because of Toastmasters. But my knowledge of sex, oops. Awaiting a quick response. A frustrated Toastmaster. Mobile 98203. Pigeon, go. You see, friends, there will be challenges. Tring, tring, 1 second.
So that's the middle part of the speech, right? She was building to the context of what she started off with. Takeaways.
She used the Bollywood reference by saying two states.
Correct. All right.
She's
She
also
used the
using all the props really nicely with the notepad and writing the letter.
Correct. Beautiful. Okay.
Good hand gestures, just like popping the cigarette and relating his expression.
So some of you may know Mohammed Katani is an WCPS champion winner who used the cigarette as a reference in his speech. And that is the year that he won the contest. And she quickly used that in a reference material to build connection with the audience out there. That's a beautiful, Devesh. Then
She stated in one line that uh, I have not good knowledge of politics because of Toastmasters. As it
the
is
sex,
mentioned that
politics, and religion, we don't
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
that line.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
that
Beautiful. Great
reference.
observation.
Hmm.
Dhruv, you said something?
Good punchline about the tiebreaker judge.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And
She
now
also
we know
used
that every engineer has problem with TCS.
Correct. So I think in District 19, a lot of events at that point of time used to happen in TCS. A lot of Toastmaster events. So TCS becomes a very easy ground to crack joke on. So a lot of TCSs are Toastmasters, right? And I'm an engineer, but I don't work with TCS. You're not putting them down, but I work with JP Morgan, trying to get a fancy foreign name attached to it. Very beautifully playing with the audience and their emotions out there. Right. All right, now let's look at how she reaches the conclusion of the speech here.
Hello? Chief. Who? Who? Huh? Chief Minister of Orissa? Yes, sir. Yeah. Sir, I don't know Oriya. Please speak in Queen's English. What? You will not merge the state? Sir, he is my only and first love. What do you think? I don't have enough power. We have more members in District 98 than in your Rajya Sabha. They all will help me. Will you help me? Did you hear that? See, we can create a new district combining Jharkhand and Orissa anytime. Thank you so much for your hope. I now know that I will marry my love of life. You know why? Because for every Toastmaster is a reason for hope. No matter how difficult the challenge is, you all are invited for my wedding. Yes. Connect with me after this for your early bird discounts. Contest chair.
So do you see how the ending, she reached towards the ending? No extra drama, no message, no takeaway, just funny story, line punchline over, right? We want to always give gyan at the end of the meeting, you know, there has to be some takeaway, but here, nothing. Deepak, so now your takeaways from the ending over here, last 1 minute, conclusion.
Again, she took a reference from Toastmaster systems, so which connects every Toastmaster very well.
Correct, right. So a lot of, if you see a lot of small humor sprinkle around, you know, Rajya Sabha and Toast members in this 98 reference. The last reference for early bird tickets for context is that the eloquence tickets were going to get started to be sold at the conference. So she made reference to that you are invited to a wedding. I'll get married at Eloquence, the annual conference. And for that, early bird tickets will be available after this contest. All right, so that's a quick connect with the audience, instant GK understanding of that Jharkhand and Orissa nobody cares about, you know, having funny references like that over here. So any other takeaways? Come on, we have last 6 minutes before Medha throws me out of Jaipur, Nagar.
So I think that the ending was funnier than the opening or whatever was in the body.
Correct. You saw at the end, people were constantly hooting, laughing, cheering. That is your objective. At the 7th minute, when you mic drop, people should be laughing, shouting, hooting, whatever it is. All right. So if I go back, so in my speech, while I'll just get the presentation on. Anyone else wants to add to it?
The play with the voice and her facial expressions during the chief minister's call were outstanding.
Correct. She used her strength of voice, facial and voice to her advantage. Now, all of us are not experts in using our facial expressions or voice modulation. So don't get overwhelmed that, okay, this is the best way to do it. There are champions who have done straight face poker humor. And they have won the championship also with content. So if you have poker humor, you look straight face and crack a joke, people will laugh at the situation as well. Yeah, Krishna.
Sir, I have a question. So may I ask it now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So that, as you said previously, that in our speech, there should be a humor every minute, or there should be a punchline in every minute. But as we can see in her speech, so the humor and punches are coming in every 10 seconds frame, as we have all noticed. So so the whole 7 minutes were like a kind of a stand-up thing for me. So isn't you think that this is kind of irrelevant to a speech kind of thing, as I mentioned previously also?
Correct. So, see, like I said, this does not have a project objective to meet. The objective of a contest is to be in the judges' ballot. It does not anywhere say there has to be a message or a takeaway. There has to be content. The content is the love life of two Toastmasters from two different states. And then she built her narrative with different situations around it. Of course, we all know that the part of sending a letter to the chief minister or calling the chief minister was exaggeration. Right? So exaggeration, sarcasm, observational, self-deprecating, it's a type of humor that were incorporated out there. So she used situations, and those situations were funny. There were no punchlines. Calling the chief minister is not a punchline, it's a situation that she built. So if you have your speech narrative with a situation that is built, and 30-40 seconds later, you're giving a pause for people to laugh. Right? All right, any more questions? So I would love to do an exercise actually to, for us to draft a 1-minute speech, but now we're a little short on time. But so I think we can do that off the records as well later on. Any question that you have, any doubts that you have right now? Nope, we are good. Now, if from this audience, at least some of you, please come to the top 3 at your club contest, please. So that's the result of this education session, that if some of you have been able to win at the club and the area levels, if you need any help with your speech preparation for evaluation, for review and feedback, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be happy to do that. Beyond club area level, if you need help coming from other people. So I'm not the most humorous person in the 98, like I already mentioned that. But there are other people who have been contestants regularly. If you want your feedback from them, if they're not contesting, of course, you can put you in touch with these people also to help you refine your speech post the club level. All right, so with that, that's been my time. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience and not laughing at my jokes and giving me a poker face throughout the last 59 odd minutes and not switching on your video, some of you people. I'm hoping you were laughing behind the screens with a black curtain in front of you. Handing over the stage back to our moderator, Deepak.
Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful, insightful session. And I believe that we must have taken the very great insights from this session, and it will help our Toastmasters and contestants to win this humorous contest. And now we proceed further. Before that, I would like to request all of you to switch on your video and bring a very good smile on your faces so that we can click a screenshot of all of this. Okay. So when I will say, just a moment. Okay, and okay, now. So Toastmaster Dhruv, Toastmaster Rita Sharma, Toastmaster Ajay sir, Anil Naidu sir, Satish ji, TM Shubham, and Rita Ashley. I'm sorry, if I mispronounce the name. So everyone is ready? Yeah. Three, 4 or more videos to go. 3, 2, 1. Great. All the this red hearts are popping up, so giving a very good feel. So I think these are for you, Hardik sir, for your this wonderful session. Okay, We will proceed further. Before that, I am sharing a feedback form. Kindly fill this form and copy that link. It is here and done. I've shared a link, which is basically a Google form for a feedback form for your feedbacks. Kindly do the same. And one more time, I would like to ask, if you have any further question, you can ask right now. If you have, please raise your hand, or else we can proceed further. However, Hardik sir gave very good time during his session, so that we could ask questions or doubts. Yeah. Okay. Now, I would like to request our President, Jaipur Toastmasters Club, Medha Chaturvedi ji, for felicitation of Shri Hardik Shah sir by presenting a certificate to him.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hardik, for being here today. You have a lovely view, and what is there in your background, I can see it from my window. So I'm sure the next time we have enough budget in our club funds to call you here live. And it was a really interactive session and a valuable session for all of us, I'm sure. So if anybody wants to share something for Hardik sir right now, they can unmute and speak as a thank you. So if anybody would want to share anything.
Yeah, please go ahead. It is not Q&A.
Sir,
It's thanks.
it was an excellent session, but means I was waiting for that previously from the day of the PR. And as I am kind of a humorous person and I love humor and in my speeches and general conversation also, so it also helped me out in my general way of talking also. So except from the speeches, so really a helpful session for me. I'm really satisfied. Thank you, sir.
So it was good learning experience. And I would like to hear Hardik Shah again and again. So can I get the link of this meeting, recording of this meeting?
So we'll put this session on our YouTube channel and share it with everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, only if Toastmaster Hardik allows us. Because he couldn't travel this time, so maybe, he holds a grudge against us.
I'll charge royalty from you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hardik. Too many takeaways from this session for sure. Definitely gonna help all the contestants to, improve and really, really takeaways. Good takeaways, actually. I've noted down all the pointers in this.
Thank you, Swapna. I know you're preparing for the area contest now.
Yeah. So one question, is it better to, use the same speech which we used for the club contest, or, it is always better to start afresh? Because see, many of the audience members have realized, or maybe some voting judges also might be hearing the speech for the second time, or somewhere or the other, the audience member knew this joke around, so they might not laugh at the same pace when they were laughing at the first time when they hear it. So is it better to, write a fresh speech for a new contest, or can we, just use the old one?
So I'll give you a reference of stand-up comedians. They rehearse their speeches with a lot of audiences before they go on the main stage for the main act eventually, right? Your speech is tested with an audience who have laughed at your joke and voted for you.
Yeah.
Improvise on what jokes landed, what did not fail, and change that part of it instead of doing a speech completely again, because you will try that for the first time in an audience. You do not know how audience is going to react for it. So use your same theme line, go back, look at what people laughed at, what people enjoyed, what people did not enjoy. If it's a funny thing, after 2-3 weeks, you will still go back and laugh at similar jokes. Like a lot of things on Instagram Reels, we watch the same joke again and again, we laugh at them and smile at them again, right? So 2-3 weeks is fine. And if audience next person is laughing, I will also laugh with them.
Thank you. That was my question.
Hi, Naveen sir. Are you in Hong Kong, Singapore, or Jaipur, Bombay?
No, very well in Pink City, Jaipur.
Pink City.
Welcome, Naveen sir.
Well, thank you. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Sorry, I missed most of the session. I was in a meeting.
But
Yeah,
you're-
Medha has planted a few people to say good things about me right now, so
Right.
that's happening. Right?
I plant seeds. I do not plant people. So at this juncture of our session, again a very big thank you Toastmaster Hardik to travel all the way from Mumbai to Zoom. And thank you everybody for joining and staying till the end. It was lovely to have everybody. And thank you Toastmaster Deepak for moderating the session wonderfully. And claps for everybody.
Thank you
Happy
so much.
October and happy humorous speech contest.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the best, everyone.
Thank you so much. Again, from my side to Mr. Hardik and each and every participant who participated and presented here. And the lastly, Naveen sir also present here. So a big thank you to him as well. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Good day.